What's up, YouTube? I'm starting a series. It's going to be a beginner builds for all the killers in Dead by Daylight. I'm going to be starting off with the killers that are free to the game, and then we'll be expanding from there. We're going to be using either just the base perks for that killer and some of the general perks, or maybe a couple builds with some very entry-level teachables that you want to consider getting when you're getting to Dead by Daylight killer. Our first killer today is going to be one that's near and dear to my heart. It's going to be the Huntress. She was my first main when I started getting into Dead by Daylight killer, so I figured this was a good starting point here. Just a little bit of information about Huntress here. She does have a run speed about 4.4 meters a second. Her terror radius is a standard terror radius of 20 meters, and she is one of the taller killers in the game. Huntress, as far as teachables go, I probably would not really go out of my way to get her teachables in the beginning. There are some teachables that have a little more value for the blood points. So for instance, like Nurse's Calling or Brutal Strength from the Trapper. But anyway, her teachables are going to be Beast of Prey. It grants the undetectable status effect after gaining Bloodlust Tier 1. The next is Territorial Imperative. Essentially, survivors' auras are revealed to you for 3 seconds when they enter the basement. Now, you do have to be 32 meters away for this to take effect. The third is going to be Huntress Lullaby. Essentially, what it does is it makes skill checks just a little harder to hit. Each time a survivor is hooked, Huntress Lullaby grows in power. It affects healing and repairing skill warnings. Now, 1 to 4 tokens, it's going to seem like maybe you're lagging or something like that. On 5 tokens, you won't have a skill check warning at all. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the build of perks, and then we'll get into add-ons, and of course, we'll get into some gameplay with this beginner build that we're using today. So your first perk is going to be Sloppy Butcher. You know, when you're just starting out on Huntress, most likely you're going to be landing more M1s than you will be hatchets. Hence the need for Sloppy Butcher. So your basic attacks are going to cause the Mangled and Hemorrhage status effects. Essentially, all it's going to do is going to take a lot longer to heal up those wounds from those hits that you're landing out. The next perk is going to be Huntress Lullaby. This is a really good perk to have because A, it's just a little bit of a slowdown perk for generators, and B, it'll teach you the importance of protecting your totems. So it's good to go ahead and get into that mindset now, to go ahead and just protect those totems, so you can keep that perk going throughout the entire game. The third perk is going to be Deerstalker. This perk here is just really good for finding those slug survivors. Now, sometimes when you're playing killer, it pays to slug those survivors and keep applying pressure. So if you have 2 or 3 survivors grouped together and you down one, sometimes it's better just to keep applying that pressure than it is to go for the hook. This will kind of help you keep track of where those down survivors are, so that ways you can kind of circle back and get those hooks after it's all said and done. The fourth perk is going to be Beast of Prey. Now what this does is it gives you the undetectable status after gaining Bloodlust Tier 1. This is really good for just kind of mind gaming those survivors, helping you kind of reposition without being detected, and also hiding that red stain, so that ways you're just a little harder to predict as far as you know, when you're stuck in those loops and things like that. Now let's go ahead and jump into the add-ons. My first favorite add-on is Venomous Concoction. Essentially what it does is if you hit someone with your hatchet, they're going to suffer from the exhausted status effect for 5 seconds. So a lot of players are reliant on their exhaustion perks. So perks like Dead Hard, Lithe, you know, Sprint Burst, things like that are exhaustion perks. And to be able to take those away, there's a lot of value in that. My next favorite add-on is going to be Mana Grass Braid. It makes it a little more able to hit those quick hatchets for pallet stuns and window vaults and things like that. When you're just starting off on Huntress, you know, predictability is the key to landing hatchets. There's a little bit of a learning curve to learning that predictability. So Mana Grass Braid will definitely help with that. All right, let's go ahead and hop into some gameplay here. You want to definitely take advantage of those close-up hatchets here, so as you can line up that combo. Go ahead and get your M1 in. There you go. It's a combo. You either want to hit and then go for the hatchet, or hatchet and then go for the hit. Whichever one. Go ahead and get your first hatchet. So for him, we're just going to M1 him down. Look, he's out here in a dead zone. We got this. Look at that. Okay, this is a good time to test out that undetectable. All right. Undetectable now. Whoa! And there you go. So you're able to mind game and kind of double back and get those hits in. Just a little bit of value there. A little bit of value for beginner perks. We've got some scratch marks over here. Go ahead and get your M1 in. It's good to pump out that damage. Felix is still down over there. That's how we could tell with that deer stalker coming into play. Let's just go ahead and get our hook. We got our pressure out. There you go. Best tips I could tell you for hitting hatchets. You wanna try and predict their movements. You wanna try and aim not where they are, but where they're going. It reminds me a lot of like playing Hanzo on Overwatch, if you've ever done that. Go ahead and get your M1 in. Sometimes it's easier just to have the consistency of the M1. He's in a dead zone. Remember, it's okay to get into those longer chases right now. We've got a lot of pressure out. We got a lot of pressure out. So they're most likely going off to heal right now. So don't even sweat it. Look, they're up there missing skill checks because of Huntress Lullaby. There you go. Got to protect that. Got to listen for those grunts. Got to listen for any sound effects. Headphones are going to be your best friend whenever it comes to playing Dead by Daylight. She dead-hearted into the basement. Since we're out of hatchets, and on top of it, it's pretty late game. Let's go ahead and make them do some high-risk moves here. I wasn't even planning on throwing this. I was just trying to freak Steve out, and look at that. He hid by there the whole time. There goes the Mana Grass Braid. Getting value out of that. We don't have to worry about losing the survivor because we got Deer Stalker going. we go. Thanks a lot for hanging out and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good tips out of it. You can catch me on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. EST. Also, feel free to subscribe down below and drop a like if you like the video. I'm going to be making a beginner build video for every single killer in Dead by Daylight. So if Huntress isn't exactly the killer that you're looking to main, stay on the lookout because I'll be doing more very soon.